If you want to learn about discipleship, a way that really impacts people's lives at a level of, I guess, just transformation. I mean, relational discipleship has been the key to really seeing this transformational growth in people's lives. And we've been in ministry for years, tried different methods, different strategies, and have never really seen people engage at a heart level the way that they have through relational discipleship. And the RDN has just had a huge impact on our lives personally, the way that we parent our kids, the way that we do church and minister to people and help others understand the value of investing in others' lives, and through discipleship and becoming disciple makers, and the reproducible process that is taught in Scripture, the way Jesus modeled this reproducible process. And so they provide the support that you need. They provide the training that you need. Relational discipleship is what we see Jesus modeling in Scripture in the New Testament, and then the New Testament church carrying forward what Jesus modeled. And it's just had the most profound impact on people's lives of anything that we've taken them through, introduced them to, experienced ourselves. And you've got to check it out. You have to check it out. We've done ministry many ways, and this has been one of the most freeing things that we've experienced ourselves personally as ministers. I'd say the first way is by personal invitation for people, from leaders and group members, inviting people into their home for small group. We also promote it on the platform on Sunday mornings, asking them to fill out the connection card indicating that they're interested in a small group. They can put that at the connection booth, and one of us will follow up with them with information, sending them to the link. They can go directly to the link on our website and click on the Find a Group tab. They also can go out to our small group wall, and we have small group leaders that man that on Sunday mornings and share about small groups and the impact it's had on their life. And they can also find a group that way, because we have cards with locations and group leaders and all that on the board. And then in our partnership class, our membership class, we have next steps for them, and getting plugged into a small group is one of their next steps. So we try to limit our asks of our people, and so we really focus on getting them involved serving and in a small group. Those are kind of our two big asks of people when they come and want to get involved at Side Life Church. I think the biggest thing is creating a discipleship culture that people come in and understand this relationship with Jesus, how it's impacted their lives, what grace really means, what the gospel really means in their life. Just this acceptance, this welcoming environment and culture where people can come and just meet him right where they are in their current state. And we can meet them where they are, because we know that's where Jesus meets them. And creating that culture of authenticity, vulnerability, and people really are drawn to that. They want to be a part of those environments. That speaks to them. They want real, deep relationships, and I think that's made some of the biggest impact, not just on the church as a whole, but on even my ministry specifically with women. They want to connect with each other. They want a place they can come and be real and be themselves and be loved right where they are, with a lot of patience and understanding. And so setting that culture in place, though, is very strategic and intentional, and takes time to build and develop. And so, but it doesn't happen on accident. It really is something you have to keep casting vision for in front of your people, and living it out in your own personal lives as a staff. That's really where we, at the core, lead it out, model it out, and have created even a staff culture that is sweet and loving and built around relationships, and everything and how we handle every situation is really through the lens of relationship and love. So who doesn't want to be a part of that? Mistakes that churches should avoid in terms of getting people into small groups. I guess we want these groups to be places where people can engage with scripture, engage with each other, build relationships. It's not a place to sit and just have a lecture and with questions that are just sparking intellectual answers, not things that are actually transformative from the heart. So it's not a Sunday school fill-in. It's a whole different ideology and culture that you're creating that is opposite from a classroom type experience that you get on in Sunday school. It's community. It's the picture of the early church in the New Testament, where they came together and broke bread together. They ate together. They prayed together. They did life together. And so that's what they can expect in these groups. And so you want to paint a very realistic picture of what they can expect, and not a time to fill them with Bible knowledge, because that's not the end goal in there. The end goal is discipleship, so that we look more like Christ when we're done. Just that the responsibility of discipleship is on every one of us. The biggest blessing that has come from the RDN training is realizing that the responsibility of discipleship isn't solely on the shoulders of the pastor of the church, but it was really the call of every believer to go and make disciples. And so I think for many years, the church, even the attenders, had the expectation, and even staff people and the pastor themselves put that burden on their own shoulders, instead of realizing it's impossible for me to do that with this entire congregation, that I do need every person to be discipling others and to carry that mission and to take it seriously. And so that's been the biggest blessing, I think, is making the distinction of what my part is in the process, what their part is, and what God's part is. And so very freeing.